Hello everyone, and welcome to a new After Effects tutorial. I got a question asking about 2D animated explainer videos. I will try every time to make something new so we can learn and understand how to animate things and make beautiful explainers. First of all, I will take screenshots and let's go to Adobe Illustrator, Illustration, and I will choose 1920, 1080, and then I will hit OK. Okay, now I will paste the screenshot, Ctrl V, and I will lock this one. So let's create new layer. Click on the rectangle tool and we'll make this one. Maybe it's better to bring a line here, guideline here, so we can align them. Okay, now I will add this one here, this one. Okay, something like this. I will add another one here. Okay, so now I will hide this layer, make a rectangle like this. Okay, and then maybe I will change it to stroke, and then let's create this rectangles. You can also click on the Alt and drag to make copies. Okay, and I will add the door here. So now you select these layers and go to Pathfinders. You can find it here by going to Window and choose Pathfinder. Click on minus front. So now we have our building. Let's move to another one. I will create this one right here. Again, I will change it to the stroke so I can see it better. To make it bigger. Now if we save this design, okay, let's call this one city. Okay, so now if we import this file in Adobe After Effects, we'll start with new project. Okay, and double click here and let's select our illustration. Okay, so if you import it like this, it will be a simple shape. We cannot animate it. Okay, so what we have to do right now, I will delete everything back here. So I will create new layer and drag every layer like that. Okay, new layer, and then I will drag this one here. Okay, you need to do this one in order to import them in After Effects later. Okay, now we are done with this. Let's save it again. Save as, and this is our city. Double click here to import the city, and choose the composition and footage dimension, layer size, and then hit OK. So double click here, and we have this one. If we check the composition setting, it's 1080, and the duration is 10 seconds. Okay, so let's start by adding a new solid. Right click, new solid, and this will be our background. I will drag it down here. I will change it the color to something like this. Okay, so now we have our layers here. Let's start by animating the buildings here. Okay, so first of all, I will hide all these layers. I will just keep these buildings. First of all, what you need to do is to change the anchor point. So I will select this one, layer 22, and then I will click on Pine Behind Anchor Point, and I will drag it here. Okay, let's do the same thing for... Of course, there is an easy way if you install something like Motion version 2, where you can choose the anchor point directly by a simple click. Okay, or you can make it manually like this. In the timeline, go to something like 1 second, or maybe less, and hit S on the keyboard to reveal the scale, and then I will add a keyframe. Go here and set it to 0. So if we run preview this one, it will be like this. So I will move the keyframe here to make it faster. Okay, and what we can do to make it better is go something like 1 frame or 2, and make it 120, and then go another frame with the page down, and let's make it 100, and it will give you something like this. So I will move the keyframes, select all the keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, and select easy ease or F9. Now we have this one. You can play, of course, with the keyframes to make it look better. So let's do the same thing here. Again, you choose to start them together or in different time. So I will hit S, again go here, 0, here after 2 frames 120, and then 100. Select all the keyframes, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Let's move on to this one. Click on the stopwatch and wanted to make a keyframe with 100%, and go here and add 0%, and again it can be anything, 100 something extra like this, and add the same keyframe again. easy ease them. There is one thing, if you select the layer, if you want to make it shorter, with Alt key pressed and if you drag like this, it will be faster, or you can make them like this. So now with this one, again I will go on the time frame here and click on scale 100%, then hit 0. Again, let's add something like this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, right click, easy ease. So now we have the buildings. I will add the colors. Let's choose fill on the effect and preset and drag it to this one to change the color. Okay, I will choose this color for example, and I will copy this effect, Ctrl C, and you can add it to the other one. Now let's move on. Again, you need to change the anchor point. Why we are changing the anchor point? Because if we leave it like this, for example, and let's say we hit S, and if we scale it down to 0, when you run preview it will start from the center. So if you wanted to scale from this point, see, so that's why we need to put it here down in order to make it in order to scale it from down. We'll parent the green one to the branches by clicking on this one, and we pick up the branches. Now with the branches selected, I will move the anchor point again here and hit S again, 0%, 100 something, and 100, and select all and easy ease them, F9. So now we have this one. You can also select all these keyframes, go to the first keyframe and Ctrl C. You can paste the same animation for this one. So again, I will parent the green one to the branches. Be sure to change the anchor point here, and then hit S, and this time I will use Ctrl V, and I will have the same animation. If we see it right now, let's move it in the timeline to make it to make some randomness. Okay, that's fine. Now I will unhide this layer again, same thing, or you can simply delete this one and select these two layers, Ctrl D to duplicate them, and let's move them to this place. And finally we have the sun. Scale it down to 0. I will choose easy ease, have the sun, and hit P and click on the stopwatch position, and then let's move it to something like this. I will add the keyframe like this to make it slower, maybe something like this, and you can play with the curve to make it more interesting. Okay, I think it's moving too fast, so I will make it until here, and I will click on this add keyframe. I will remove this one, and I will set it like this to make it slower. I will hit S to scale it down, and I will put it here, and let's duplicate with Ctrl D and add another one here. So and I will drag them under all the layers. Okay, so now let's play with the colors again. With the effect and preset, select fill and add the fill to every layer, like the sun. Like this, you can choose any color. So if you want to make this kind of reflection, just duplicate this layer, Ctrl D, and then click on the pen tool, and be sure to design something like this. Okay, set this one to gray color, and then in the blending mode, change it to screen, and hit T and make it something like 50%, and you will get this effect. Again, we can do it here, Ctrl D, click on the pen tool and drag something like this, and I will set it to gray color. If you set it to multiply, it will be darker. Okay, if you want to make it screen, it will be lighter like this. So I think we are done with this one. Let's see. Okay, so we have some interesting movement in the trees. Hit R to reveal the rotation property. I will click on the stopwatch here, and here maybe add it to something like -50, and like this it will be moving in this direction. What you can do also, again, you can go some frames here and set it to something like this. Go here, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and of course F9, and you will get something like this. Of course, you need to try to play with the keyframes to make it to make better animation. Okay. Now let's animate the clouds. Just select both clouds, go to the end, and hit P to reveal the position properties. Click on the stopwatch and go to the beginning, and then I will drag them to something like this. And now we have our cloud moving. Maybe let's change them to something like this, brighter color. I hope you like it, and I hope you learned something from it. Again, please let me know in the comment below. Add your comments, like and share the video. If you have any question, again, you can go to the description, and then there is a suggest tutorial topic. Just click here, and If you want to know how to make something in After Effects, just write me your comments here and put the example video link. Okay, and I will try to make a tutorial as soon as possible. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for watching.